And those are the slides that have been created using Markdown and Pandoc. So let's see the slides. So as you can see, you can add emojis, you can have lists of elements, you can have different size of headings, which is based on Markdown. You can have bold, italic, bold and italic in the same time. You can have ordered lists, and unordered lists, you can have links. For example, I can go to Google with this link. You can have images with the Markdown formatting. You can have block quotes. You can have table using this formatting. We can have tasks lists using this formatting. For example, completed tasks, uncompleted tasks. We can have escape characters if we want to use the star and the hashtag in our slides. Should be writing this way. And we can have equation written in LaTeX directly in the slides. So to do this, what we need is, as I told you, we need to write this in a Markdown format, but we also need to have Pandoc installed in our PC. So what is Pandoc? Pandoc is basically a universal document converter, which allow you to convert text-based content format to another text-based content format. For example, I can convert Markdown to LaTeX, can convert Markdown to .x, can convert Markdown to txt, and vice versa. And it's pretty handy and works with the large majority of text-based formats. To install Pandoc, what you need to do is you need to go to this site, pandoc.org, and go to installing, and you will be going to the download page, which will get you to the release page of Pandoc. And depending on your operating system, you will need to install either those two links for Linux, those two links for Mac OS, and those two links for Windows. Go for the MSI. If you are using Windows for a quick installation, you can directly use the binary if you have like more knowledge, or auto install binaries in Windows. But you should also remember that you need to add Pandoc to your path environment path variable in order to that the Pandoc command line is recognized by Windows. If you have any issues when downloading Pandoc, please comment down below in the video, and I will make sure and do my best to help you out with the installation. So now that we know that we need Pandoc to do this and to install Pandoc, I will now give you a quick overview of the actual approach that we need to use in order to get the results. So as mentioned earlier, we need a Markdown file, and to have a Markdown file, what we need is a Markdown editor, and one Markdown editor that we'll be using this video with is Visual Studio Code, but there is other type of Markdown editor. You can use, for example, Obsidian, you can use Visual Studio Code, or you can use Stack Edit, which is a web-based Markdown editor. Once we have this, there is one rule that we need to follow in order to create the PowerPoint presentation using the Markdown, is we need to add those 3 dashes between Markdown content. So our different Markdown content should be separated by those 3 dashes, those 2 consecutive 3 dashes. So this element will be considered as one slide. Those 2 consecutive dashes with some Markdown content between it will be considered as one slide, and so forth, so on and so forth. So once we have this Markdown formatted this way, we can then use this Markdown and use Pandoc with the command line in order to create the PowerPoint. And to use Pandoc, it's pretty straightforward. Any kind of, let's say, classical usage of Pandoc is as follows. You need to write pandoc dash I followed by the path of the image that you want, the document that you want to convert, dot the extension. Let's say, for example, it's txt, so it will be the path of my file.txt dash O followed by the path of the destination. It can be on the sum directory or in order directory. Dot the extension of the desired file. It could be Markdown, be LaTeX.tex in the case of LaTeX, can be pptx for PowerPoint, and in our case, since we have Markdown and we want pptx as input, it will be like this: pandoc-i slides.emd, which is the name of the file that I've created, dash O, and then slide.pptx. So now let's see in live how this is done. So as you can see now, this is my Visual Studio Code with the actual Markdown file, which I called slide.md. And it is basically some rules about Markdown. And yeah, for the purpose of the video, we'll just add maybe one other slide, just to show that it's pretty straightforward. Some text just for the video. We can, yeah, let's be crazy and add some add some formatting. Yeah, can add like this. Should be, yeah. And what can we add more? Yeah, we can maybe add lists. Yeah. So Markdown is cool. Yeah, I think we should be good. So now let's clear this. So there is, so the command line should be as I demonstrated earlier. It should be pandoc.i, the name of the file, dot the current extension, which is md-o, and then followed by the desired output format that we want, which is pptx. And I would just make sure that this do not exist. So this is another presentation that I made earlier. We can just make sure that we create another one, which I will call slides, just to show that you can change the name, and we should be good to go. So now, as you can see, the slides document have been created. We can now export it into Google Slide or PowerPoint, and that's what we will do now. So let's export it using PowerPoint. So yeah, let's try to export it. So go slides, and let's see what do we get in slides. And yeah, it's pretty much the same presentation that I showed earlier. with just one thing that has been added. Yeah, should be good to go now. Yeah, let's see, where is the slide that we added? Yeah, you can see this is the slide that we added. Yeah, Markdown is cool. Yeah, and Markdown is very cool. And yeah, this is basically it. So this is the end of the video for this tutorial. If you have any issues, as mentioned earlier, if you need help with the installation of Pandoc, or if you encounter any issues while downloading it, please add a comment down below in the video, and I will do my best to try to help you debug the installation. So see you in another video.